Welcome back to the Lazy Eye podcast. We took a break. We smoked as we always do.
I peed in a girl's bath.
Do you want me to turn you up a little bit here, Felipe?
Oh, thank you. That's beautiful.
Yeah, we did pee in the girls' bathroom because there's like
The girls.
There's construction going on in the men's bathroom. I was waiting because like I remember when the girls' bathrooms were like out of like you cannot use them because there was construction going on, and I'm like I can't wait for the opposite so I can pee sitting down and feel
I'm
like
so sorry for the women of Funkhouse.
I saw two female students this week when it was only the men's side open, and one of the generous males of the Funkhouse decided not to flush on the only open toilet, and I kind of came in on them realizing that, and
poor girls
on behalf of
yeah.
I'm
guys,
so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, I guess the problem is that now it's the same. Like now we're invading their space.
Yeah.
And like men's skill with using their penis is so low.
Yeah, but there's a lot of margin for error, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, error is acceptable. Yeah. Not cleaning after yourself is not. That's the thing.
That's called respect.
You know, the only time where I've been at fault the last couple of years in Berlin. Yeah. So Colette and Agnes,
they pissed on that floor.
Their apartment, their bathroom, they substituted the actual light. With,
it's like heroin lighting.
Yeah,
it's heroin lighting because it's like monochrome.
Yeah,
so
right.
you can't fucking.
It's a red, super dim light. And what happens is, I was there like 3 times a week, right? And like I would get like drunk to some heroin. I would get like super drunk, and then you go in the bathroom, you can't see shit. Yeah. And like for some reason, drunk penis with foreskin decides to do some like funky formations.
Yeah, but with this many years of foreskin on your back, you can't.
True.
You know to just.
But like being drunk.
Or sit down.
But I assumed it's okay, and then I remember like Colette walking in and going like, "What the fuck?" And
you're literally pissing like on the wall.
Everywhere, like piss everywhere.
Standing poop.
Listen, I've been a model man for like years. I've been an ally and a friend, and
this night is for me.
And I can fuck up once in a while, okay?
I mean, just sit down. It's more comfortable.
I know, but you know what happens?
Especially like Larry David goes over this thoroughly. Do you guys watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I don't, but I love Larry David so much.
It's a TV show that's like actually worth watching.
I know it is. I know it is. I love him. I love Larry David. Yeah. But I haven't watched. I think I started it at some point, but I'm not keeping up with it.
I miss a lot like a recent season. But there's definitely an episode where it's like he sits down to pee and it's a thing. Of course it's a thing. Everything's a thing.
Oh yeah, of course I've done it. Yeah. But here's my issue.
I've done it
a lot. But here's my issue. When I get drunk and it's warm, my penis wakes up. Yeah. And then when I sit down, it's like touching like the marble shit, and
low
I'm like,
key flex in here.
Wow.
Okay.
I think my dick looks so big.
No, I have like
my dick's in the water, and I'm like, oh geez.
Oh God. No, I have tiny flaccid penis. I'm a grower, not a shower. I'm a grower, not a shower. Yeah. But like eventually, like I'll get like super drunk, and it's like super warm because it's a Berlin house. Like radiators are working and are pumping. Yeah.
They either work too well
or
not at all.
It's like the windows are foggy because no one's opened them.
I open them because I smoke, and they hate me because I smoke, and they're beautiful. Otherwise, same with Felipe.
I mean, you're like, can I smoke practically inside? Like, you're aesthetically putting the cigarette outside.
Yeah.
But then you're just smoking inside.
Yeah, and like the cold air is just like rushing in, and like there's actually no smoke leaving the room.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know, but that's me. Do you want me in your life? That's the sacrifices you have to make.
I mean, I have needs, but I put them aside.
Thank you. That's acceptable. I accept that.
But like it's just I just hate the smell. The smells is shit.
That is fine.
Pee? Of smoke.
No, pee is fine. Smoke is way worse.
Yeah, but you're going to deal with it once a month.
This is the thing smokers don't realize. Y'all really be out here thinking that, like, if that's last time when I scolded you about the bottle. You remember this?
The bottle scolding?
No,
Do you recall the bottle
I don't recall it at all.
He was trying to convince me that it was okay.
Yeah.
To like zmiciare, like
fuck you.
ashes.
Yeah, to ash in a bottle.
To ash in a bottle, and like that bottle is gonna stay in my apartment, and like you don't think that smell is gonna emanate from that, but it's
going to. In fact, like if you add moisture to like an ashtray, you're doomed. The one thing I hate about smoking, and like I only really smoke when I'm drinking. I mean, I do spliffs, but when I'm not drinking.
Yeah, and crack.
For the record, mom. But no, it's like I come into my room sometimes and it smells like my uncle's room from when I was a kid, and I have this like weird deja vu, and I'm like, oh no, no, it smells like Uncle whatever's fucking flat room, house, whatever. And that's it's just a depressing smell.
It is.
It truly.
And it's not that it smells bad. It's just a sad smell.
It's the smell of my life. It's literally the smell of my day to day is that smell.
My life reeks of a stale cigarette.
Oh yeah. My room is just disgusting on so many levels.
I've never been to your house.
Really?
Yeah. It's all I do. Okay. All I do in my room is smoke in there and masturbate.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say ponder.
Yeah, but like
you seem like a ponder
kind of
guy.
Yeah. Can I say something though? My trash can is cigarettes and like
toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
does that interact?
Mine too.
Yeah, it does interact, and it's
mine's that plus Haribo bags. So
see, I don't do the Haribo one, so I'm healthier.
So you're better than me.
I think
less sugars.
Yeah,
it depends on the volume of sugar. How much sugar compared to your nicotine usage?
One bag in one sitting every time, dude. Like once it's open, it's just like sour worms, juice, the 25%. Juice gummies.
Oh, the Nimmenzwei, the
German.
Yes,
those ones are banging though.
That shit
because they have apple and pear. Like, how dare you? It's so good.
See, I just have like Ecuadorian chocolate that's like 90% cacao. I drink coffee, I smoke, but it's like none of that sugary shit.
Whenever I have a little craving, I just get my little spoon out and have a little bit of caviar. I just shave some truffle into my mouth.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
racking lines of 80% cacao, dark chocolate. It's good for you.
Good chocolate is like a thing.
Good chocolate is good.
I didn't know how much the delta was between actually good chocolate and just like taste like this tastes good and actually delicious.
Yeah,
until I had it.
And like, white chocolate's not even chocolate. Apparently.
It's just cocoa butter with sugar.
I know. Yeah, that was news to me like 3 years ago. I was like, what the fuck?
I do 80% up, and I try to forget of the stunning chocolates I've had because I'm so broke that I can only afford the like little. We try to give you a tropical chocolate for 80 cents. I'm like, I'm having it and pretending that I'm in a bourgeois setting when I'm actually.
I guess one of our workers is from Ecuador. Like.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like, this tastes like the one time I stayed at a nice hotel and they had chocolate on the fucking desk.
Oh my god. I feel so validated when I have a little bit of chocolate on the hotel cushion.
Yeah. Or one of those spots where they fold the towels up like swans kissing.
Yeah.
It's the best.
We went on a cruise ship once. Never doing
That's
that
where
again.
they do that type of shit. Yeah.
Was it a Jewish party?
And I was like, no. I want to hear the cruise ship story.
We went on 2 cruise ships. This was a bad idea. 2 times. First time, Costa Concordia.
Okay.
Does that not ring a bell?
It doesn't.
She was
the one that
sinking.
Flipped. It's the one that flipped over.
Yes, she's the one that went near the Italian coast. But we went 2 years early. But I still have
Thank goodness for that.
2 years too early.
2 years too early. But I still have flashbacks of Capitano Schettino like communicating to the entire ship via intercom that tonight was bingo night.
Oh.
And he's like, bingo, bingo, bingo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like in your room, you're like, fuck. And then in like everyone who's like plus 60, they're all like, you fucking hear that?
You what? Like,
Yo, grab my favorite dungarees. We're going to bingo.
So that was our first one.
I love that.
That ship was, I'm glad it's under the sea, because the interior decor of that shit. Oh my god.
That's like just because Kyle mentioned Bill Burr before, Bill Burr's solution to the population was like to become a dictator and sink cruise ships
valid.
every summer.
Valid.
And it's like you're getting like 2,500 a pop, and it's people that we would all be happy if they didn't exist.
I'm very disappointed in my family for choosing
to be fair though, it's like if everyone who made poor decisions was just like eradicated like that, like I'd be gone for sure.
Yeah, but like obviously all of us, we've all made dumb decisions.
Yeah,
but we're talking about.
I thought that checkered shirts were a good thing for me. I've genuinely thought that for multiple years.
Think again.
Yeah,
shirts are bad for you.
I mean,
they're horrible.
Listen, I was a skater boy for 5 years.
Did you write that with an 8? Skater, Sk8.
Of course.
Nice.
Of course.
Depends if I'm in a rush.
It took like a.
Sorry, don't have time to spell it out.
As someone who did some kickflips this summer, gotta say, it depends if you're in a rush, if you use the 8. Because I still do.
It's like filled by just a skater boy in Berlin.
Just a skater boy in Berlin. It just took a life-changing injury for me to realize that's not as cool.
Just like one kick, like one ollie to the shin. You're like, I'm done.
I'm done. I actually like smashed my leg. I couldn't walk for a year and shit.
I tried skating once, and the moment I tried going slightly downhill, I was like, not for me.
Yeah. You have a bad combination to be a skater. You're like very tall and very gay.
Yeah.
It's just
Hey.
Can you not vote?
I follow some dudes on Instagram that are like fully, gender is not a concept essentially, and it's like
is there diversity in the skate world?
It's sick watching dudes wearing like short skirts, kick flipping, and like their sacks hanging out in the photo. It's fucking hilarious. Like,
but
it's amazing. It's cool.
But see, they're challenging the gender binary. I'm reinforcing it. So I would have
as well,
like
at a skate park. Like I think like the word fag, for example, is pretty common. And just like the sense that like skaters typically like even like the 30-year-old ones, they act like they're 12, and so so to see like dudes rocking fucking like short skirts.
Here's the thing though,
like tray flipping.
Here's the thing though, there is a lane because skaters are like, I'm not sure if that's bringing diversity and fluidity into the conversation because I knew a lot of those like 30-year-old skate like when I was fucking 14.
Yeah,
there's a lot of it, and like it's kind of like this straight culture that, yeah, man, I can wear a skirt. Like, it's not.
No.
Like,
this is actual non-binary.
I know what you mean, but also it's like I'd have to hand it to like a lot of people that like skated when they were younger and then they grew up, and like a lot of them go into like music production, but like a lot of them have like become queer, and
that's lovely.
I think skateboarding in like your teenage years kind of allows for you to be like creative and think outside the box and be like a little bit different, and it makes you comfortable with that at a young age. And so I think it's important in that sense.
I think it's like for white people that's the pinnacle of like culture in your teens.
I don't know if it's. I don't think it's a white person thing. I think it's like you get a skateboard and you ride that fucking thing.
White people, that's all we have. Like straight white people, that's all we have as like a cultural moment to feel
Bowling.
rebels. Yeah, but like in a rebellious way, that's all we have.
Oh, no,
tax evasion.
Everyone else can.
No, come on.
That's not rebellious.
Wesley Snipes, man, get that motherfucker out of jail.
No, tax evasion is once you become comfortable.
Yeah, that's a status quo.
We're talking about like the incubation period. Like skateboarding is the only thing we have. Every other culture has many ways to rebel. White people like skateboard is the thing. That's why I did it. I'm like, my family is so supportive. I'm gonna be a bum and skate all over Athens, and it still didn't work.
I still think skating's cool though.
I do.
It's like if there's any sport that is like, are you into sports? Like, nah, but I guess skating is a sport. It's going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Olympics.
Yeah, it just got added, and the Olympics got cancelled.
But is it like it's like figure skating where like kickflip and then there's like
it's very much it's like there's like a thing called Street League, which I think Mountain Dew does, and it's very much like all of like the millionaire skaters, the Nike guys.
Street League.
It's like all the guys that like are doing Street League. It's like that's what you're gonna experience in the Olympics. It's just gonna be best. My grandma is gonna be watching it now, as opposed to like me YouTubing the best stuff.
What do they do in Street League?
So basically, Street League is like they build like a skate park, and the way way that they're designed is like they're kind of like a big rectangle, and there's like kind of a one part where they roll in on, they get some speed and momentum, and they come back, and then the other side of the skate park is meant so they can kind of transition back the other way to it. And so everything can kind of be hit one way, and then a lot of stuff can be hit this way, but like a few things can be hit both ways.
The thing with Street League,
maybe I'm describing this in like a really vague way, but it's basically just like a back and forth park.
But you know what it is? It's like for years, like skateboard competitively was like a giant ramp, and assholes, just like jumping for like, but like no. Like that's the thing, like Street League, what they did, like I remember being a teen and Street League was the shit because you got the people that you skated with essentially, because like there's this culture of like there's like the crews in every city and there's like different crews. But then Street League was like, instead of the fucking like rich white boys with protective helmets jumping something, it was like fucking a Brazilian guy rotating the skateboard like it's a fucking yo-yo.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of first generation American dudes who are like basically fucking killing it.
Is the goal style like is it like figure skating? Is the goal style?
It's like it comes down to
accumulation of points,
consistency. So essentially, like you're not falling, and then you pick a bunch of tricks that are like difficult, and then you
communicate that
stylistically as well. And so
it's like figure skating.
But it totally is fucking
figure
skating
because
the runs
don't
change. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
the runs don't change from their practice runs to like their competition runs.
It's just if you executed it good, if you stick the landing correctly, like
how fluid are you? And it's this idea that you, in the beginning, like to qualify to the finals, you get like you basically get like a 60-second flow. So you're like, I'm going to do shit for 60 seconds that's going to qualify me to go to the finals. And then the best like lines of 60 seconds go, and then you have to do like best trick. So you have 3 tries at one position, and the one who does the best trick gets the best score. And there's like...
and then you sum them at the end?
And then basically what happens is once you get to the finals, there's like 3 events in the final. And then there's like a sort of like accumulation of points and averages.
So basically, like you're trying to get like, see, you've watched more Street League than I have, because like for me, I'm more into like just street skating.
I watched like every
ultra wide lenses, shitty Sony VCR.
Right. It's like you kind of there's like the street aspect, and then like the best trick aspect, and is the best trick kind of portion like a finals sort of.
So in the finals you have like, depending on the year, because I remember like watching it from like 2010 or something, and then it has changed. But I remember for a time it was, you were basically, I think there was like a run of 3 rounds where you were getting like the sum of your points. And then once you got to that score, let's say like you get like 3 9s and you have a 27, then you have best trick, and if you get like an 8, you go to 35. If you get a 7 in the next round, it doesn't count in your score.
That's right.
Only if you top that with a 9, it goes to 36.
But I've seen it also where like it adds up. Like they do one and they get a 6, and then someone goes again, and then they get, say an 8, and all of a sudden they're at 14. I've seen that, but this is the thing. Like I don't really watch skateboard competition.
I mean, I guess since it's a relatively new format, it probably changes.
But it's kind of not like the X Games were around when I was a fucking kid.
It's been like 30 years.
It's just different. It's just developed, and there's different organizations and companies that have kind of like tried to rebrand it and restructure the shit. And it's often these skaters who are like, like they're fucking technical gods, but it's like when I watch Nigel Houston, I've never been so bored watching skateboarding. It's like technical prowess, like out the wazoo, but it's also boring. Like the guy can't skate transition. Anytime Skater of the Year is awarded, there's always like a bunch of fanboy 12-year-olds that are like, why won't Nigel win? He's the best. It's like, because the dude can't fucking go down a hill. Like he can't ride this like ramp that's like built of like 40-year-old concrete that actually takes a little bit of finesse. Like this guy's got dudes sweeping gravel for him before he starts skating.
It's like a very
commercial.
I mean, I guess it's like I don't get excited watching things like swimming or like speed skating.
Yeah.
But give me figure skating,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I want to see style.
But there's pageantry. It's like it's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
there music? Do they play music?
I think they do, but
Oh,
it's
they
bad.
always
It's,
play
it's like
Oh,
it's like
okay.
it's like
background shit.
it's like Lil Wayne got into skateboarding, so I'm sure they play Lil Wayne.
Yeah, I think
That's right.
That is
And then like the one
horrid.
skater listening to this is just reeling
here's
now.
okay.
Too. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, just to end on this skate shit.
Yeah, we can stop talking.
Yeah,
about
but the
skateboarding.
two things I love about like skateboarding community is that there's a lot of people, but it's such a small industry that there's so much money because it's small. Because there's not 1,000 companies, there's 5.
No,
But
there's like a lot, but you're not wrong. Continue.
yeah, but meaning like there's so much money in it. Like some skaters make more than fucking NBA players because there's so many NBA players and teams. But like skateboarding,
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah,
there's
but
like
if you're making that much money as a skater, you are Nigel Houston. You are.
yeah, you're one of those
what's
like
his name?
top
There's like an
5.
Australian guy that's really good. There's like Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah,
shit like this.
my favorite is like there's this Brazilian dude, I think Oliveira is his last name, who would go in the X Games, and everyone was like going for consistency.
Wait,
and
what
the
was his
points.
name?
I think Oliveira is his last name.
Oliver.
Something Oliveira. And so everyone would go for like consistency and tricks and flowing points, and he would fucking go all style. He would go berserk. And most of the times, like everyone wanted him to win because he was like the
it's just
underdog.
swag. He's just doing
doing
these
some crazy
back
shit.
tail front
Yeah.
pop shove out, where it's like the most sexy trick of all time, but it's not
Yes.
going to win you the comp.
Yeah.
I respect that. And actually, like, I gotta say, like the Thrasher cover right now is this guy named Jack O'Grady from Australia, and it is the sickest Thrasher cover of all fucking time.
Really?
Like, right now, it's basically.
Thrasher's still a magazine that
Yeah.
Oh
exists in
yeah.
print.
Yes.
It's the realest one, of course.
By the
and so
way-
basically, it's like it's 2 handrails, and they're like super separated, and the photo is him ollieing between the 2 handrails. It is fucking gangster. If it's February right now, February Thrasher, or maybe it's March. Thrasher edition, fucking that cover is crazy.
By the way,
It's crazy.
I promised during the last No Boundaries that this is gonna be a straight episode, and I fucking delivered.
Yeah, straight episode.
Okay.
Heterosexual.
We're fucking talking about fucking
real
pulp shoveling out of a
live
rail.
I feel
man.
very uncomfortable right now.
This is the
Who's familiar with who's on the Thrasher cover?
This is the only time Felipe doesn't know what's happening in here. He always has an answer for everything.
Yeah, I literally know nothing about skateboarding.
This is
But now you do a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gathering the info. I'm gonna synthesize it.
It's like it's sports. It's sports. Let's
Okay.
face it. At the fundamentally
Sports. It's sports.
What was at 7?
we gotta say goodbye to the live people.
Oh no! Goodbye to the live people.
The live people have already said goodbye.
Iconic. Love that for them.
Like 5 seconds ago. Yeah, we can slowly end it.
Yeah, I
as
gotta
well.
I gotta pee again, of course.
Beautiful.
But I'm not first.
I mean, this is the
What was the
this is
second
the
topic?
only-
Like we're gonna do barbecue, and then there was like another one.
Okay.
Have we finished the bar? Yeah, I think.
I think we
barbecue
have.
Yeah, because there was
Here's
the
the
moment
thing.
where he cried.
Okay, this is the only episode where we haven't talked about sex
Yeah.
and
We don't
drugs.
need to.
We don't need to.
We don't need to.
We talked about ketamine
Yeah, we
in like the
we
first 2
tagged
fucking
it.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean Berlin.
Okay.
Berlin.
Poor Shelly. If my mom.
Do you
listens to
wanna do
I'm
a
sure Shelley's
bathroom
amazing.
break and do
Shelley's
like a
fantastic.
last like 10-minute
Yeah,
thing, or do
yeah,
you want to
let's-
say
let's-
goodbye now?
this. Let me run to the toilet. And
Okay,
we'll
let's
do
do
like
it.
another 10,
Let's
15
do a
minutes.
10-minute break.
All right. Sick.
Now it
Beautiful.
doesn't matter because we're just
It
recording.
doesn't matter if we do.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. I'll be 2 seconds then.
Beautiful. I'll pee as well because beers.
Yeah, me either.
See, I only know. Like
Yeah. I mean, we know that.
I don't even know the reference.
really. Oh, dude, we gotta.
I'm not comfortable with the material.
We'll end the podcast with just the ooh, and then no music, and yeah, you'll get it.
Okay.
you'll get
No,
it.
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna make you end your podcast.
I'm
some
lost in
way.
my own podcast. How dare you people?
Beautiful. So we're back from our second
We're
bathroom break.
back from a second bathroom break.
I feel like we should just put microphones and cameras in the bathrooms.
That would be
Not in general. Not in general. Only
Just for the podcast?
Oh, okay.
that would be
God,
highly
Jesus.
problematic and on point with
It just
our,
sounds like fried chicken.
our
Stream.
general aesthetic.
It's just like they're frying chicken.
Yeah. Oh, ooh, what are you frying? Speaking about tattoos, have you guys seen that like Twitter post that was like blowing up around Christmas where this girl like her family made like pork belly for Christmas and she used edible ink to like tattoo shit on it?
No.
It's like beautiful, a beautiful like roasted pork belly with like tattoos on it, like old school.
That's fucking cool. I mean, I know people use pork and oranges to practice on.
Oranges, I know oranges. My friend,
but like oranges are like the cheap do it at home.
I tried on lemons. You know, like growing up, like very artistic. I'm like, oh my god, is this gonna be a new thing that I'm good at? Yeah. Is this another passion of mine to happen? Turns out I'm so shit. I tried for 2 hours. The best I could do is like Michael J. Fox tattooing.
Damn.
That's a Parkinson joke.
Thank God we're not on air anymore.
I have a friend who's studying medicine who's like biggest anxiety is like if I get a tremor, my career is over. Like him, like, oh, I want to be a heart surgeon. He looks at his hand. He's like, it's moving a little bit.
Oh. Yeah, I have like. I
don't think I could ever.
I only have like calculated movement.
If I don't concentrate on it, it's fine.
Yeah, when I'm like working, I'm very calculated. Generally, I'm very like shaky and not good at like handling space. It's not my thing.
Yeah, plus like the stance feels kind of weird, right? Like when I'm using a knife, I want to be like,
oh, I'm good at the knives. Right? Like I'm good at
it's big, but like scalpels are tiny.
Yeah.
Like, give me a pair. I'm more dangerous to myself with a paring knife than with a chef's knife. Because a chef's knife, I can hold it properly and I can go.
There's a weight to it.
But like paring knife, like if I'm cutting something and I flip, that's
the thing. That's the only time I got myself is like with silly knives. Whenever I have a chef's knife, my knife skills are impeccable.
Speaking of knives, I wonder if they found a knife.
Oh yeah.
Oh!
I hope they did.
Okay, update for the people listening and watching.
Important news. Important content.
We're having a smoking break.
Yeah.
And it was to me, it felt like a pre-corona moment. I was so happy. Yeah. Connecting with people that I don't know without being scared.
For no reason is great.
It was stunning. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, there's like a guy and a girl outside were smoking. They're like, hey, you guys like part of this fucking institution shit thing?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, this guy actually works here, okay? And they're like super cool. And they're like, we actually need a knife. And we're like, they pulled all of the cutlery from the kitchen, but we know where you can get one. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It was really nice. I'm not sure if they found one.
I hope they found that.
I hope they did.
I wonder what, they had cookies. What were they going to do with the knife?
Maybe they just had like butter.
Maybe they just killed someone in the studio upstairs and they need to dissect some
salted
body.
caramel spread from Reve.
Oh my god. The fucking cookie spread.
Oh boy.
Fucking cookie spread.
Yeah, that was like positive culture shock in Europe. Yeah. I know, dude.
Cheap Christmas cookies.
The guy that I moved here with, man, me and that motherfucker would just be eating spoons of that shit.
It's so dense. It is one of the most dense, spreadable things I've ever eaten.
It's good.
You crunchy.
You can kind of like let it like dissolve in your mouth for like. You can eat it fast or slow, and it's still delicious. It doesn't.
I'm wondering if you can like mix it into like ice cream.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
You could take that to like the Ritter. You know, like how they have like the Ritter headquarters here, and you can bring them ingredients, and they'll make Ritter Sport for like a gift one-off. Yeah. And so like I had a homie who was like, "What happened to the cookies cream Oreo Ritter Sport?" And I was like, "You know what you're getting for fucking Christmas this year?" It's like I brought a bunch of Oreos to them. I was like, "Make me some fucking Oreo Ritter." They did send it to him.
That is
Yeah, very thoughtful gift. I know he made a post on my
Felipe
Facebook from 2013, and he got the gift like 7 years later. Yeah, it was note to self.
I'm having like a moment.
Yeah.
I'm elevating myself.
The biscotti stuff or whatever it is, whatever it's called. We've talked. Yeah, that's it. And we talked about taking it to Ritter. This is not. We've discussed this, and it should happen. Yeah.
I mean. If
I do go, I will make you one.
Oh please,
yeah, of course. Oh, okay. Actually, I have another hack for you, and it's the fucking shit. And this is a big up to Saul, the IT guy,
icon legend.
Yeah,
is he working from home?
A little bit, but he kind of just comes on his own hours because it doesn't really matter. You know, it's like as long as it gets done, it's done, right? And so, so Saul, he's been coming over to watch football with Matt. And
football, like American football,
yeah, gridiron, NFL, whatever, commercials, whatever you want to call it. It's just like 4 hours of commercials. Let's face it. And
it is, and also like I'm always surprised when British people watch like NFL.
Yeah, Saul's a rare breed for that. I think as well. Who the fuck is that?
Oh, he just has a bike.
He's got a bike.
Anyways, just has a bike.
But Saul made a treat for one of these NFL Sundays, and it was basically he bought croissant bread and the salted caramel from Reve, and he basically just like put massive spoonfuls of salted caramel, rolled it up, baked it, and I'm telling you, dude, it is fucking crazy.
That
like the
sounds
caramel
amazing.
melts from one end to the other inside, and if you eat it while it's hot,
It's
it's fucked up. It's so good. It is so good.
You know what I almost did to those guys? I almost went, like when your dog shits and you clap, but in a bad way. Like, what are you doing here?
I've never done that.
Like,
I've never done that or seen people do that.
For all the listeners, there's a guy unlocking his bike outside the window.
Yeah.
Very nicely. Not very respectful.
It's a Greek people I think
piece of
use
shit.
claps like for animals as like a sound. Like this is a bad sound. Like why are you doing this?
Yeah. You
Beautiful.
enforce that.
I was
You
so
enforce
ready
that as
to
a
run
puppy.
to the window and be like, why are you making so much noise?
You don't
We're
realize,
talking about salted caramel here.
You don't realize how much noise other people do until you're like in a studio situation.
Yeah.
I was like,
as soon as the microphone's live, you're like,
I was trying to field record like the ambience of Funkhouse, and there was some fucking idiot just like in the studio behind me, just like, I'm gonna work on this tech house track.
it's like, yeah,
on these-
ganska now in the hallway. Oh, sorry. Ganska now with this kick drum, yeah.
Das Kickdrum ist geil.
Anyways, yeah, sorry.
If you're making Four on the Floor in 2021, you need to
I
call a
do,
doctor.
I do.
You need to call a doctor.
I do because I play records and I respect good music, good dance music. Sorry,
Oh,
good
really?
dance music.
Oh, you do?
I live for.
Are we about to get controversial right now? Because I swear to God, like so much of this experimental fucking. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's like good breaks.
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea. I have strong
these,
opinions
like,
on
weird
this.
technos, but
We're
it's
the
like,
ones doing
it's like,
that.
Is the overall like objective of this music to make people dance? No. Yeah, no.
I think we're past that.
Or is it for us to just be like, yeah, that was interesting.
Listen.
I'm spending 40 hours at this club to be interested. No, fuck off. It's
Okay,
like,
here's the thing.
give me a fucking 8-bar loop with like a fucking just make it bouncy and
Okay, can we accept one thing? Minimal house is amazing.
Yeah.
Tech house is ridiculous.
I would now this is the thing with tech house, and as someone
I
who,
live for
who-
tech
who-
house memes.
the
Continue.
thing is with tech house is like I shat on it for a long time, and then
Thank you.
I got into buying vinyl from like the 90s and early 2000s, and I've realized that like the best ones are technically tech house. And it's not like this, like, okay, like there's a difference between like going to see like, I don't even know, fucking, I don't know, I was gonna say Tale of Us, but they're making like melodic
No,
techno.
Tale of Us
but
are
basically
melodic
it's like you
trash
get
techno.
these there's I describe it
I
as
hate them.
there's V-neck techno, and then there's like
V-neck techno.
yeah, and y'all know what I'm talking about. It's Ibiza, expensive water, guys wearing a big hat, a guy's wearing
Expensive water techno should be a genre tomorrow.
He's wearing like a big fucking hat that you'd find in like a Stephen King novel.
Yes.
Black leather jacket.
Yeah, he's wearing like joggers and fucking boots, joggers and boots, and a V-neck really deep, and it doesn't fit. And so
we like
and
not
there's
even like too
there's
tight,
that, but
just
like this is
weird.
like this type of tech house is got like this like big white noise build, and then like it's just shit. And then so
I also love like the vocal like lead ups to it, like the stories. Like one day I was in my house.
Oh, that shit.
Falling in love with the most beautiful girl in the world.
And we did go. Yeah, either way, so it's like
There's so many of those.
it's
There's
bad.
so many.
But I gotta say like some of my favorite records of all fucking time that I bought that like they're just like these like 90s UK tech house things, and like they're like literally just based
different.
off like a dude who's on some like next level shit, and it's just good dance music. It's super evil and wonky and just makes you like, I don't know, like if you're gonna go experience it properly, I would recommend going to like a Ghost party. Like there's these guys, these UK guys called the Ghost,
different.
and like they play records. Like each record is probably $200, and so you're witnessing like thousands of dollars of Discogs in a night, and it's good tech house, and I know it's still tech house, and so I'm basically fighting a fucking uphill battle right now by being like, there's good tech house, and
there's definitely good tech house. It's just buried underneath.
You need to find it.
Yeah, it's the problem with good tech house is that it's buried like underneath just like tons of shitty tech house.
It's a Beatport tech house. It's like V-neck Beatport tech house. It's like for like lazy people.
Oh yeah, but there's so much.
It's a DJ tool.
Yeah, it's like the tools. But like even the ones that I like are tools too. Like they're really simple. Like if I was gonna recommend one for people to like listen to, like what good tech house is, I just want to make sure I get the exact edit. So you know.
I love when there's like one like there's this one track.
This track is shit, but the edit is amazing.
Valid. If you want like a good tech house track, is Dem 2, so DEM, then the number 2. Don't Make Me Wait, filtered dub. That.
It's
a $200 record for fucking reason.
Yeah,
it's a banger. It's a banger.
Yeah, except that. Also like dub, like edits, I don't know, like there's like so many, you know, like when people don't want to call it a remix.
Yeah, well, they just can't afford the licensing. They just can't afford the licensing. So they're like, I'm gonna change this and this.
So it's like it's not a remix. It's John's weird implementation of dub techniques, all in like a fucking what's the parentheses?
But I swear to God, like since I've gone into like good tech house, it's like I don't even like listen to house music anymore. Or disco at all or anything. It's like I'm on a
your
hunt.
Tribe will be very disappointed to hear that.
I'm on a hunt for like, trust me, I think it's a thing, and I'm in a very maybe small group of people that value this style of music. But the ones that know, it's like fuck man, you can go party for like 20 hours easy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think my only problem is I love like house and disco. I love the genres.
I still love them. Yeah.
My only issue with them is that happy, easygoing, soulful vibes cannot keep me engaged in a club night.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that's why the only type of like house I love to like club with is minimal house, because minimal house uses a lot of the like weird like scales that like techno obscurity kind of records use.
Well, it's more sound design based.
It's more sound design
melodic.
based.
It's like groove and sound design, and then often that like lends itself to being like the good stuff is often quite sinister, and then when you bring in like actual melody, that is when it becomes like the tech house. Because tech house is like what? Techno house music, and I fucking personally do not love techno, and I love house music. But it's like I find this like nice middle ground of like where shit is just like super sublime, or not sublime, but like super melodramatic. Yeah. And quite evil and very trippy. And trust me, there's a fine line. I get that.
No, of course there is.
But
of course there is.
There's like some good shit.
I think there's something really interesting that you guys are talking about. I mean, I'm not very comfortable with like the different like limit like techno or tech house itself. It's like it's an umbrella term, right? Like it's difficult to create like statements pop around it music. And that what the fuck is pop? Like exactly. Like this literally changes both like time wise, but literally like to one person something is pop, to another person something isn't pop. But I think what you're calling back to with this kind of melodic element is there, like to me, the kind of like escapist attitude that you have at a club night, like tonal music. So music that expresses like changes in emotion or in its structure or its like narrative through changes of tone, right? Which is the de facto novel technique that electronic music has. We can change the tone of things. We don't need to change the note. We just need to change the color.
Yeah, often it's like the development of the entire track is a filter opening up. 90% of it.
And I think when you then bring melody into there, you kind of cheapen. Like, why do you need melody to express emotion when you can do this tonally? Where if you change emotion tonally, you can do it smoothly, and you can allow people to engage with this emotional change whether they want to or not. I can not engage with the emotional change of that filter opening or closing. I can just move to the groove. But the moment you force me to listen to a chord change, I can't ignore the chord change.
And it's not even like a chord change. It's often like really like lazy 1 to 4 to 5 to 1 kind of fucking like cadence in a melody.
Yeah, like what story are you telling?
Yeah,
really.
And if there is going to be like, and like I personally I love like micro house and minimal. It's like one of my favorite things. I make a lot of it, and but it's like there is this like when like the tech house I do like is very much like motherfuckers like, okay, if I'm playing C, the next nice note would be like a fifth up. It's like, no, they're gonna play a fucking like third augmented down because it's gonna sound jarring and weird. And then if they can couple that with like a filter movement that like complements the two things, and then you're in a territory where you're like, okay, super janky. Thank God for this ketamine.
Your mom is shaking.
I mean, like a good example is like Nicholas Lutz. He's been around for years. He's a big friend, he's a friend of like what's his name? The Fabric guy. Either way, Nicholas Lutz is like a good person. Like kind of like if you're gonna find like some mixes of like weird old janky tech house, so for a guy that's like still contemporary and massive, you know, he does good shit, and it's often weird, and it's weird in the headphones, but like when you're at the party, you're like, yeah, it's fucking dope. Super fun.
Yeah,
it's always minimal.
I think I tend to only enjoy after a certain point. Like I need a little bit of outlandish, bizarre scheme in a clubbing situation because I used to do it for like 4 years, almost like fanatic, like research that this is what I like, so I want to witness it. And it got to the point where like I'd rather be at like a tiny little venue where someone is trying some weird shit than go to a club and just hear like 4/4 kick for 11 hours. Like I'm not that interested in it anymore. Like I'd rather hear a weird guy trying some very bizarre
like playing some weird record at like 33 instead, and like doing shit like this, and that's what I mean. It's like the 90s kind of tech house stuff lends itself to that, and like don't get me wrong, like there's guys still making good tech house, but there's it's so overwhelmed by the bad tech house, which happens to be like have a marketing team behind it, so people who don't know where to look for it, that's what they find.
Very true.
That is what they go in here.
I find that my like sister is like warming up to more like, let's call it electronic beat driven music, like in general, and she will very much enjoy like these kind of what we would call like kind of fuckboy like minimal techno.
Oh, okay.
Like, but fuckboy minimal, like not the kind of shit you would be like happy with listening. But I think it's because at that point for her, I think it just represents an alternative to what her previous like main like music consumption was, right? So if you're coming from things like indie pop, indie pop with a record deal behind it, or if
very indie,
love that
indie made by Universal.
Hi Lana,
super independent. Sony.
It took 13 peaches.
It took like 44 producers worked on this, and I was like, there better not be 45 because 44 is my favorite.
But the vibe and overall aesthetic is so indie. It's like ridiculously independent.
They used like 44 guitar pedals.
Yeah.
I went to like Capitol Records and I had to have a lava lamp in the room. I swear, the reflection of the desk at 160 really gets cancelled by the warm tone of the lava lamp I put on the meter bridge.
It's like I just put up photos that I took with my analog camera.
I'm so sorry, but yeah, like my sister's kind
I apologize.
We're dicks.
My sister's kind of in that territory, and whenever
but as long as she's like discovering different sounds.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing I love for her, and I also
how old is she?
My sister's 97, so like only 3
she's
to 4
my
years.
age.
Yeah, she's your age.
And she already has a career. Fuck her.
Yeah, she's making more money than I'll ever fucking be.
Dude, I'm fucking 31 and I'm a fucking technician. What are you talking about?
You're right.
No, like career with a capital C. Career with option.
Okay. I got a career with a K.
Are you in debt?
No.
That's great.
That's great.
You're already better than most of the US.
Actually,
already better than me.
Like, I mean, my debt is very
manageable.
One paycheck to do it.
Yeah, like I owe $50 to my friend.
You're not like
Arturia. It's like I got like maybe one more $60 payment on Arturia V Collection 7.
Love that.
Yeah, you're not like, I'm not gonna be able to do any big financial decisions until I'm 47. That kind of debt.
My credit.
Speaking of debt, remind me to give you your $50 because I have it on me.
But wait, let me finish my
Sorry.
My thought. So I often when we're in the car together, she makes the mistake of giving me the aux cord, and I don't want to. And not that I'm saying that. Oh my god, my music taste is just like so experimental. Like you wouldn't know it. Like fuck off.
So eclectic.
Like literally, me and my
you
friends
can't tell the first 2 minutes of William Basinski to the last 2 minutes. You fucking. Anyway, sorry. Continue. Sorry.
That was too niche of a reference.
Yeah, but the ones that know, they're like.
Yeah, I don't think the ones that know listen to this.
One day. I assume Felipe knows, so shut up, Bears. No, I'm kidding. No, okay. Sorry, you get
this
the aux
is
cord.
my podcast. This is my platform, and this is my life.
Has been given to.
I will get the aux cord, and I don't know. I'll play something like okay, let's play something like fun and melodic.
Yeah.
Let me play like Floating Points.
Yeah.
Like Floating Points by us.
Great choice.
To me,
producer,
like
great
I'm not gonna make my sister listen to 10 minutes of Ragey Kid going sine wave.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
Because why would I do? I'm doing self harm by listening to it. So why would I do that to other people?
Yeah, it's like you throw on a Coil record, and she's like, or you're just like, this is their most critically acclaimed one, but also the fan base really liked it too. And then she's like, what's Coil?
Coil what? And with that track, the problem is actually the arrangement.
That's my biggest issue with my own.
I think it's because I'm very okay with listening to 3 minutes of like ambience and like the hint of there's a hi-hat coming, and then like a laid back, like, you know, like Floating Points, like kind of not wonky, but like a little bit off kilter beat, and she will love the beat, but she will not be here for the musical journey.
I see.
I think that's something that modern like listening habits have kind of caused. Like I wasn't born with like, now my sister has a record player now, and she will listen to an entire LP, which is
stunning.
Like that's great, right? I love that for the music industry. But she's used to track, like on your phone, swipe to the point that I want, and that's just not how I consume.
Dude, I used to get mad at this guy I used to DJ with. I was like, how can you tell if the song's good by just going to like 2 minutes in? Like,
I like if the drop is good, I need to know if the breakdown is actually disappointing.
Well, no,
and
it's like,
cringy.
is this record gonna work with the other shit that I have? You know, as a DJ, I don't know. Maybe that's a bit of like a left turn, but yeah, if she's skipping,
no, it's not.
I
fully resonate with that because I know like I've DJ with people that will just.
I'm having one more.
Yeah, of course. That will just like go like 4 minutes in and see like, oh, I could DJ that. I'm like, what? You haven't listened to the entire shit. Like, how could you DJ?
That's my variety of techos.
What if there's a 2 minute ambient break that you don't know, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, I mean, and I think.
What if they start like rattling off some fucking super misogynistic? Like,
true.
What if 4 minutes in it says like white power?
Do you want to start trolling Beatport?
It's like just for people like in Boston in frats, frat boy house, frat boy tech house.
White power.
No. Let's hope not.
I think a lot of that like tech house that I think is very enjoyable. The thing is, it's enjoyable from minute zero. Yeah. It gives you what you want straight away, and I think modern like a lot of listeners are not used to the kind of like the reward, right? If you only have gratification, music starts to become very dull and boring. I want I want a little bit of like, oh, there's some tension here. Yeah. Oh, I hear tension. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see how or if this is released.
It's even like I watched the thing like there's a Jeff Mills Red Bull Music Academy from like '97, which is I think maybe the first Red Bull Music Academy they did, and they have Jeff Mills on. And Jeff Mills is like he's like my age. It's beautiful, and he's basically talking. He's like, yeah, I realize it's repetitive music, but it's like these like loops are basically designed. even if they don't change, it's a loop that gets more exciting every time you fucking hear it. It's not necessarily this thing that it changes. And even if it does develop, it's like, it does something to like actually just make the energy like build, and like it adds tension. And even though it's like not much, it's just like a hi-hat here and there or whatever, it's like if that like one bar is good, it's like the next time you hear that bar and next time it keeps getting better in the head. It's like a weird
that
psychology.
is very true, because in club setting, when you don't have to be you don't have to be smacked. I mean, like if you're a little bit drunk, a little bit high, just in the moment, repetitiveness is one of the highlights.
Dude, you just know how to dance to it.
You just know, like,
as well.
There's an excitement to once you find that loop or that bar that works, the dance floor gets so excited that they don't want it to go away. Like there is like some sort of, it's a very different platform. Like you're not building an arrangement for like music files to like play in the record in the salon. This is like a club.
Yeah, it's like
joint,
it serves
and
a
it
purpose.
works. It serves a purpose. There's been melodies that have like 3 note repetitions or like one bar that I wanted to hear for fucking 20 minutes.
It can
when
literally
I'm in a club.
just be a 909.
Yeah,
programmed
100%. Some ridiculous, super simple notion that if you can make it work, I can listen to it for 20 minutes in a club.
I think it's I was listening to
fucking 17 hours, dude.
Like
20 minutes.
You bring something good about like audiophiles and like kind of music that like audiophiles enjoy. And there's this one audiophile.
I call them museophiles.
Museophiles, valid.
Museophile.
I'm Greek. I use the words and kind of create new ones.
Music fanatics.
Musicophiles.
And they were all kind of poo-poo like club music, but there's actually just one, the only hi-fi person I respect on the planet called John Darko. He's in Berlin now.
Yeah.
He's Australian.
I'm familiar with him actually.
And he's very big into like 90s ambient and like club music.
Oh, yeah. Continue. Sorry.
And I think I have this theory that in loop-based minimal repetition music, it asks more of you. It's not taking you on a journey. It's expecting you to build the journey. If the music is minimal and it repeats, there is space in the music for you to express yourself. Yeah. Like when I'm in a club setting, I don't want to be. I want to be overwhelmed sometimes, but I can't be. I don't want the music to force me somewhere. I want to put myself into the music and go on this journey by myself. And I think that's a headspace thing. If you're not in that headspace, it's not going to be enjoyable.
Exactly.
If you're ready for a story to be told to you, that's not what you're going to get with a lot of loop-based music.
Yeah, and like I like that analogy a lot. It's kind of like reading nonfiction to fiction, because like if a writer is good in fiction, it's like you take what you want from it, your own personal thing. Whereas like if you're reading nonfiction, like okay, chapter 1 is about this, chapter 2 is about this. Yeah. But it's good ambient music and this type of thing. Not that like you go to a club to hear ambient music.
I would.
It's nice when they have those rooms. Straight up. If I owned a club, there would be an ambient room 100%.
Like, why not? It's the perfect space.
Fucking just throw down a bunch of cushions and fucking make the guy sit down and DJ, and boom, dude. Like, it's sick. Like, a disco, like, in Netherlands does that, or in Amsterdam does that fucking superbly, you know? But yeah, it's I know what you mean. There's actually a really good record that Music from Memory is putting out. It's a reissue of like a bunch of 90s ambient. You should grab it. It's very good.
90s ambient is so it's so interesting.
It's so funny because like a lot of the stuff is like not these like droney evolving synths. They're like PCM sample cards, and they've figured out a way to make it
Voodoo
super
FX.
soft. You know, it'd be like a scratch sample, and they've like made it into this. Like a really clever.
I think a lot of like contemporary like drum and bass, like the kind of stuff that people like Sewer Slut or Exodia are pushing out. Do you know?
I don't know. No.
It's kind of this like dirt, like huge reverbs, dirty, crunchy. Like we are clipping the 16-bit AD of the
kind of like what the Ghetto House
thing.
Shit's doing, like Texas scene shit.
Very, very, very dense music, very fast music, but they're playing with these like very traditional, like they're taking these like sounds that are very like established and they're just bringing new flavor to it. Whilst, for example, the like ambient music I make, I think there's very little references to traditional forms of music expression. And I think maybe that's something that's a little bit lacking, because if in that ambient room you hear like something that is akin to like a respace or something, just with kilograms of reverb and like weird shifting,
and it's just like full on sub.
Yeah, you like have an emotional connection to that.
Yeah, because it varies so heavily from like what you're like listening to. And
Yeah,
like, I think being dynamic as a DJ or selector or as a performer is super important, especially for something that drags on for over an hour.
Yeah. It's not, nobody's doing like 10-minute sets.
No, God, no.
Like
you don't come to Berlin to fucking shorten down the 1 hour set that you got in fucking Calgary. No, it's like you come here to play for 4 hours. It's like,
yeah, I'm always disappointed when a set is less than like 2 hours. I'm like, what are you? Do you expect a film to do something in less than 2 hours?
Ideally, no.
Right?
I watched Techno the other day. It's like 60 minutes.
That's the thing. Like, also, like,
I gotta pee. It's so bad.
Okay. Okay.
Do you guys want to chat for a second? Should we wrap it up? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay. Sorry, you guys, for like.
Sorry, yeah, this was dragging on, but it's the process of the lazy eye.
We reel you in with the pseudo comedy,
I'm having
and then
a great time, but I'm a skinny little dude, and I gotta fucking pee.
I have the same thing.
Guys, you heard it
when
here
I
first.
drink,
Kyle's a twink.
When I
This is why I get into Berghain every fucking time. So I wear a white t-shirt and dad pants, and it's like I'm fucking in, dude. I'm fucking in every time. I argue my way in.
Twinks don't need uniforms. They're just always welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Like he fucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna say to all of that is that it's weird how like a podcast will be 3 hours long, and if a movie is more than 2 hours, people will complain.
Yeah.
It's like if a podcast is like 3 hours long, I don't want a DJ set that's like 1 hour and a half, or a movie that I'll gladly sit through 3 hours if you have a narrative that needs to peak. Kyle is gonna pee. He's gonna say hi. Go bye. He's gonna say bye.
I'm gonna be 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, beautiful.
Keep talking about the.
Okay, he wants to come back to
Speed piss
to properly end it.
New Olympic sport.
I would be so good at it. When I do no boundaries and I have to pee,
Bring a bottle. Catheter.
Here's the thing. I would gladly do it. It's just like I don't feel comfortable doing it in school premise. I feel like my disgusting habits need to stay out of this building. You know what I mean?
No. Next week we're gonna get an email. Guys, please, no more piss jars in the etiquette room.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep like every disgusting thing I do out of this building and keep this building as like a
pure
shrine of my creative process.
My body's not a temple, but Catalyst sure fucking is. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh yeah, no,
you're talking about content length.
Yeah, no, my only point was like that. No, when I do like no boundaries and I have to piss, I'll be like disgustingly quick, and then I'll brag about it when I come back.
Do you challenge yourself? Do you put like extra short tracks on? You're like, okay, 1, 2, 3.
Honestly, I do long tracks, and then I come down, and it's been only like 50 seconds, and I'm like, I could have played a ringtone, and I would still make it.
I found this weird like hardcore record from like 2003. It has like Venetian snares on it, and there's like 1.5 minute interludes that I don't know what the context is, but it feels like it's a TED talk about making like hardcore like sound design. And so it's this guy, he like presses a key and he's like, and he's like, oh yeah, that's vibey, innit? Yeah. And everyone's like, yeah. Like, okay, let's try something else. And there's like horn sample, and everyone's like, yeah. I fucking loved that. It was so surprising.
I love that. To me, the best like pieces ever in an album with that function. Kyle seemingly
it's like you
reappeared.
We're talking, and then you hear.
Yeah. Oh, Emma. Okay.
Someone's getting optimist.
Okay. Let's do an outro. Let's end. Let's end.
Let's end it all.
We both have cigarettes rolled.
Yeah,
it's been 2 hours and a half. Let's.
It doesn't have to be the
on.
last time either, you know.
Okay. Okay. I want to do Okay, let's do outro, and then I also want to do like 30 seconds of an intro to put like in the beginning.
But you did an intro.
Yeah, but I want to do like a promotional thing, like follow, subscribe.
Oh my fucking god.
Click for notifications.
Okay.
Ring the bell icon.
Okay. Okay, we here at the Lazy Eye, I love using we. I do no boundaries. I do no boundaries like by myself in the studio. And I'm like, so we were thinking, and the way that we go about this is, okay, this was a lot of fun. it was another tech shop. We had the tech shop queen 2 weeks ago. Legend, icon. We
Big
had
up Michelle.
a tech shop.
Big up Mish.
We have the tech shop king. That's also a queen sometimes.
The resident tech shop twink.
Yeah.
The TT.
Hey.
Please register tech shop twink at catalyst-music.com.
You want me to do what with your USB cable?
USB-A?
Just plug it in? Okay, sure.
I feel tagged.
Sorry. Continue with the outro.
Okay. So Kyle was here, you guys. Kyle was here. And Felipe was here as well. Everybody loves him.
I know.
Hey, you guys.
It's impossible to not to.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. That's fun.
Hey, it was.
We've been trying to do this for a while. And,
oh yeah, this was. I think the conversation started
probably
almost a year,
maybe over a year even. To be honest, like think about it. It's what, February now. We probably started talking about like last September. Before.
No, last September I just started coming to the school.
Yeah, but I think like.
I think the podcast
maybe,
I started.
Yeah, it might have been around this time.
I think it's a little bit more than a year, but I've been talking to Kyle and Matt.
Yeah.
Like, let's do the podcast. It's been a year.
Yeah.
It was worth it. We'll do a bunch of other fun stuff, maybe with Matt as well.
Yeah.
And okay, let's end this shit. Thank you, you beautiful souls, for listening to the Lazy Eye podcast. From my YouTube analytics, I know that no one made it this far.
Beautiful.
I know that this is going to nobody. You might have listened to like an hour.
So here's the last four numbers of my credit card as a reward.
Yeah, this is
hide gift shop codes, like €5 Apple Store codes at the end of the show.
Everything at the end, and no one ever uses it. This
first person to use the code, and like you have in fact used it, but they can never prove that they weren't there first. So
now
this is a fucking cut that, edit that.
Okay, we're cutting that out. It didn't have quite the reach that we were expecting it to have. Okay, thank you guys for watching or listening throughout all the platforms. It was the Lazy Eye podcast. We have an email that you can send any question that will be answered with some sort of
slur.
Yeah,
probably.
It will be a problematic answer,
Insults
but that's why we want your questions.
Well.
Or just pictures of dogs.
Yeah, lazyeyeheadquarters@gmail.com. lazyeyeheadquarters@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram.
Is there any dashes or points? Is it just lazy
No, it's all interconnected.
Wow.
Just
that's a
mouthful.
It's a mouthful.
That's even for
very,
you.
Very dyslexia friendly of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I try to make it
very
easy.
ableist.
Instagram is the 2 bottom dashes, not to shame the dashes.
Underscores.
Do you call them bottom dashes? What do you call them?
Underscores.
Yeah, bottom dashes. I'm trying to bring bottom dashes.
Bottom lashes.
Bottom dashes. So the __ Lazy Eye. YouTube is at the Lazy Eye. Facebook, we fucking everywhere. So yeah, give us email, follow, subscribe, a blanket, a hug.
Just click on
money.
Some money. You got a
Some
PayPal.
money. I'm broke. You can help us out.
Do you have a Lazy Eye PayPal?
Yeah, where's the Patreon?
No, I'm gonna. We need to do a Patreon where we're just naked talking about.
I'm
OnlyFans?
I'm doing that.
If they need to pay me a lot of money to see me.
Okay, I'm gonna be naked because I can do it for $5.
Lazy Eye OnlyFans.
I mean, fuck Patreon. Do an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do something, do an OnlyFans.
We talked. That was the first podcast that was publicized on the page. Was the Christmas Bussy episode.
Yeah.
And we talked about
with a B.
Bussy.
Bussy with a B.
Pussy
Yeah.
with a B. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you not know about boy pussy?
Butthole pussy. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. We've arrived.
We have arrived.
We've arrived there.
You arrived.
Yes.
I always feel like the last 5 minutes of the podcast and the first 5. Last 5 and first 5 could be a show on their own.
Yeah, just trying to be super edgy.
Just like the first 5 and the last 5. And
Try to squeeze all the material in.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. It's the best episode ever.
Yeah, boy. Okay. Good night, you twinks. That's no.
No,
doesn't
never
work.
Say that word ever again.
Okay.
Good night, you dinks.
Okay.
Good night, you dinks. Love that.
Hey, what's that?
Dinks.
Dinks.
Dinks? What's dinks?
Dink is just like a child word for wiener. Dink. You dink.
Oh.
You little
Oh.
dink.
Dink.
Wiener dink.
Dinks could be our
Dinky
thing.
is like if you describe, like, say you got the short hockey stick when you were a kid. Little
hate
brother
this.
style, you got the dinky stick.
Oh.
Okay, sorry.
I'll call Colette and see if that's true.
Run that for a resident hockey advisor.
Colette was a hockey dyke for like
Yeah.
For like a long
there was
time.
there was like the odd girl on the teams that I played with, and they were fucking.
Colette
they
was
were-
that
they were
girl for
gangster,
sure.
Dude. They were fucking good.
I knew
Yeah.
a Christian
shout out-
straight
shout
girl
out-
who played
shout out
softball, and
Carly.
I was like, "How are you not a lesbian?"
I love the softball team. I'm living for the softball.
And she
team.
didn't know that it was like a thing for lesbians to play softball. I'm like,
Actually-
are you just unaware?
Dude, the girl that was on my team right now, she's like about to have twins, so that's pretty straight. of her.
Diva. Well, no.
Yeah.
You can have twins and be a lesbian.
No,
How
if you're
dare
married
you.
to a man and having twins with him.
Oh. See, that's different.
That's
you,
different.
you-
Okay, sorry. Let's
you
just- let's
omitted
just-
that
okay, okay,
information.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I figured it was like okay, never mind. Yeah.
How very heteronormative of you.
How dare you, Kyle, for for
Okay.
any assumption of any kind.
We had to end on an insult. Good night, you guys.
Good night, love.
Good night, love.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.